What's going on today, guys? I'm going to show you guys a way to better your Warzone experience and get better FPS. It was really spiky before, and now I'm kind of getting like constant 130, 140-ish frames per second, which is pretty damn good. And so we're going to get into it here. Just pay attention. I'll show you guys everything you need to do here. Copy everything I have exactly. I am running an RTX, or sorry, a 2070 Super. So if you have a card similar, these settings work out just perfect for you. Anything close to the same as a 2070, you'll be fine. So right-click your desktop, open up Nvidia control panel. First thing you're gonna do is adjust settings with preview, put it on quality, manage 3D settings, sharpen. You're gonna want to enable this if you're having issues loading like grass and stuff in Call of Duty. So when I'm coming down from my parachute, when I get to close to the ground, the grass is like a distorted green, like a really bright green, and it looks like ass. So this will fix that. Put it to 0.50, 0.17, hit OK. Ambient occlusion off. Anti-shopping filtering 16 times. FXAA off. Anti-aliasing gamma correction on. Anti-aliasing mode application controlled. Anti-aliasing transparency off. Background application max frame rate off. Nvidia GPUs all. DSR factors off. Low latency mode, have that on. Don't put it on ultra or off. On is the best experience you can have with that, hands down. Ultra sounds like it's a huge boost, but it's really not. And it's been proven on benchmarks. So max frame rate off. You can limit that if you want to, but if you want to get the most potential out of your card, keep it off. Monitor technology, G-Sync compatible. That's my monitor is G-Sync compatible. It's an Asus ROG 27 something, whatever. If it's got G-Sync, enable it. If you don't have G-Sync, well, there is fixed refresh, which is just, I believe that's MSI. I can't. There's certain monitors, anyways, that it works with that don't have G-Sync, so FreeSync or whatever. You want that on fixed refresh rate, I believe. And then multi-frame sample rate off, OpenGL rendering GPU, auto select, which is going to vary. It's going to swap between your CPU and your GPU for different occasions. Like if it's going to be more dependent, it'll help. It'll boost each other. They'll both boost the FPS together. They work as a single unit. Power management mode, optimal power. That's the best one. Don't go on high performance. I've been on high performance for 10 years and apparently it's the wrong one. So I've been screwing up. Don't make the same mistakes I did. Just so I'm showing you this now. Optimal power, preferred refresh rate, application controlled, shader cache on, texture filtering, anti-shopping sample, optimization off, negative LOD bias, clamp, texture filtering quality, put it on quality. Don't need to go high performance or anything else like that. Just put it on quality for the best experience possible. Texture filtering, trilinear optimization off, threaded optimization. Put that on auto. Triple buffering off. Use 3D application setting for your vertical sync. Virtual reality pre-rendered frames 1, and then variable rate super sample off. And you're good to go there. Another thing you can do if you want, go instead of using the other settings, click with Nvidia settings, go color, leave that the way it is, go over to advanced, put it on full color, 0 to 255. It'll be on limited 16 to 235 at first. You can change that, gives your color, your game a little bit more color, looks better. So that is that for those settings. Just copy everything I told you to. Now we're going to jump into Warzone. And this time, I'm not going to screw up. The last video I made, I showed you guys to put the filters on, but I didn't show you what I'm using for my filters. So we're not going to make that mistake again. But we're all human. We all make mistakes. Those things happen. That's why you just make a new video. Take more time out of your day. It's all good, right? It's all good. So you're going to want to start off first. You're going to want to add details. It's the one I added first. It doesn't really matter which way you add them. It really doesn't. But we're going to start off with details anyways. So sharpen, I have at 10%. Clarity, I have at 28%. HDR toning, I have at 28%. Bloom is at 0. And the next one you'll want to add is brightness and contrast. Your exposure, you're going to want to set that at 12%. contrast at 20%, highlights at 0%, shadows at negative 80%, and gamma at 0%. If you don't know how to open the filters, you just hit Alt plus F3. Kind of glad I caught that because that would have been hard for some of you guys to understand. We'll even go into the other step for that right away. Actually, we should probably just do that now. This is going to be a really messed up video if I don't. So I'm going to close my game. If you don't have this Nvidia GeForce experience, you just Google download Nvidia GeForce experience. It'll show it. This will be opened up on your start menu every time you log into your computer. So open up Nvidia GeForce experience. You're going to want to go over to the cog wheel here right beside your profile. Click that. Go in-game overlay, enable. And then I have this checked as well, just for any new updates. So once you have this checked on, all you have to do is minimize this, go back into your game, and then hit Alt F3. And there's your filters. They'll pop up on the left side. We are on color. Let's finish doing that. So tint for your color, you'll want at 0%. Tint intensity is at 1%. Temperature is at 2. And vibrance is at 26. That's kind of all preference. Your vibrance, you can change it to whatever you want, whatever looks better for your game. And then that's how you add filters. There's a lot more filters you can add as well, but I haven't messed around with any of them, so I'm not going to use any of them. These are the only 3 that I think are viable out of all the filters. So now that you have those filters on, general, field of view 120, and if I go affected, it just helps for viewing enemies at to the left or right. So you'll see the enemies quicker with the field of view maxed out. That's kind of what you want. It's a battle royale. It's shoot or die. You want to have the biggest jump possible on any enemies. Full screen mode, always. Display monitor, obviously your monitor. Display adapter, your graphics card, whatever it may be. Screen refresh rate 144. Render resolution, I have mine at 100. You can drop it to 90 for a little bit of FPS increase, but I like to leave it at 100. Like if you've got a decent computer, you're fine at 100. If you drop it, the image quality does take a little bit of an impact, but for most time, you should be good at 100. Aspect ratio is automatic. Sync every frame disabled. Custom frame rate, put that on unlimited, because there'll be certain times where you're going to get a higher FPS, like 160, 180 frames. Whereas you have that set to your refresh rate, which a lot of people do. So if your refresh is 144, you can set this to custom and then set this to limited to 144. See? But I like unlimited. It just feels more fluid. Nvidia highlights, disable that. I don't really care for it. I make clips out of my own streams and stuff anyways. I don't really need this. Nvidia reflex low latency. I have mine on enabled. I don't use the second option. I was using it, but I got rid of it. I'm just using enabled now. Because what happens is it basically keeps your GPU in a high bound frequency. So it's going to be drawing a lot more power from your graphics card when you don't really need to. Display gamma 2.2. Texture resolution, I have mine on low now. It used to be on normal, but I find that the less textures you have to render, obviously the better frame rates you're going to get. So low is fine. And with all the settings in the control panel for Nvidia, it's going to look pretty good on low for the most part. You don't really need to mess around with that. But if you got a better GPU than I have, feel free to crank that to whatever you want. Texture filter anisotropic, have that on low. Particle quality, I have mine high. Bullet impacts are enabled. Tessellation is disabled. On-demand texture streaming, I have mine disabled. Streaming quality, I have it on low. It was on normal before, but it does add a little bit more memory for Warzone, which I'm going to run this at low and see what the stream looks like after. And if I have to put it back because the quality is just not good enough or it's not there, I'll switch it back. But I'm trying out different settings right now to get highest min-maxing for my FPS. Shadow map resolution, have that on normal. cache spot shadows enabled. Cache sun shadows enabled. Particle lighting low. DirectX ray tracing, keep that off. Ambient occlusion, I have that disabled. SSR, screen space reflection, disable that. Anti-aliasing, have that on off. Depth of field disabled. Filmic strength, I have that maxed out just to get rid of the visual noise in the game. World motion blur, disable that for sure. Weapon motion blur, disable that. Film grain, that's set at 0. And you should be ready to rock. Trying to think. Okay, and also audio. I was doing tests with this by myself in the practice mode. So I have it on boost low now. And I got rid of my surround sound because like the footsteps they're a thud. They're like they're like a deeper noise. So if you have those on boost high, I find it's harder to notice them. So when I had this on boost low, I was hearing footsteps. I knew exactly, I could know there's this guy and he's coming through this door. It just gives you a huge advantage. So the people that were saying that boost high is better, I don't really agree with that anymore. And I've proven it myself. So try these settings out and see if it works better for you. Because I know for me, a lot of times I'm like, well, there's no footsteps in the game. This is bullshit, dude. You get triggered, and you kind of just rage quit sometimes. You know, it happens. And it's half of it's because you don't hear this guy sneaking up on you, running up full bore behind you. You don't hear him until he starts firing at you. It's like, yeah, game over. Your back's turned, you're dead. So put that on boost low. And then I'm going to jump into the game here and show you exactly why these filters are nice to have. So let's go into the practice mode. If you're ever trying to mess with settings and you're trying to test things out, this is the best place you can be. You can hear all these bots running around. It's kind of unrealistic. Not how gameplay usually is in the actual game, but it's nice to mess around with settings in a mode where these guys don't really have much of a brain.
Welcome to Warzone. Battle Royale. Use your tac map and choose when to deploy from the aircraft.
Okie dokie.
The circle on your tac map shows where the gas closes in. The timer shows how long you have before that happens. Plan ahead, find the weapon, stay out of the open, and you'll make it. Jump out of the aircraft, soldier. I suggest pulling your chute before you hit the ground. Using your chute lets you glide away from everyone else. You'll get on the ground late. Clear to engage all targets. Search inside the buildings for weapons and ammo. Listen for the hum of nearby supply boxes. Good work. Red dots on the minimap show the location of nearby enemies. Now hunt them down. Reloading!
All right. So let's show you guys here.
Moving!
These are with the filters off. Look how dark this shit is, man. And a lot of the times, like, you know, guys could be, it's so dark. For me, it's hard for me to notice it. But like, so put them back on. See way better, right? These are gonna help. I don't care what other people say, these filters are nice. It will affect your FPS a little bit, but well worth the loss. So put these filters on and play with them, man. Make the game better. There's tons of tools out there to make Warzone a better game than it is. So use them at your disposal and just go with it. Oh my god.
I'm here. Relocating the safe zone.
But yeah, that'll make the game way brighter. And a lot more enjoyable. So give it a shot. Try it out. Let me know if you like it. Drop comments down below if you guys need help with anything else. And if you do like the video, like, subscribe. All that stuff helps out.
Reloading. Taking fire.
See, I can hear this guy. Before, I would not hear that guy's footsteps. But anyways, I'm going to end the video there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care. Stay safe. And hope you guys have a great 2021. Goodbye.
Only 10 left.
I do stream on Twitch D Live.
Helicopter will
So, and Facebook as well. So if you guys feel like dropping a follow, all my information is on my YouTube page. Thank you very much. Goodbye.